Hi guys, Hamster here. I am back and to finish the dilemma with the Night Force F1. A few weeks ago I asked you guys what your opinion was and what your thoughts were. I had the Night Force F1, I've had it for a while, and I had been reluctant to put it on my Remington 700, which has a loopholed Mark IV, which works just fine. And I was thinking that the Night Force deserved a little higher end rifle. And I asked you guys for your input. And you thought, majority of you thought I should do a new rifle and it should be something high end. So I asked you guys for suggestions and you made a lot of fantastic suggestions. And my only dilemma was how fast could I acquire an item to show you guys and get out and start shooting. So that kind of knocked out the choice of a custom rifle due to time constraints. So I was going to have to go with a factory rifle. And then if I could only get one factory rifle, this is a one-time, once-in-a-lifetime deal. I'm not going to get another rifle of this quality probably ever again. I'm lucky to get what I got. So then I had to narrow it down to a factory rifle, and there's a lot of good choices out there in the factory rifles. And due to the politics right now, had to look at what is available and then what would I be happy with after the purchase. So I think the shortest amount of time in finding a rifle, locating it, purchasing it, having it shipped, getting the accessories, getting this thing set up, I think I've done this in about record time in locating. So I'll share with you guys the new home for the Night Force F1. It is sitting on a new Accuracy International AX308. This is not an AX308 chassis for Remington 700. This is a Accuracy International AX308. There was a couple downsides to this gun, and I knew that going in, and only one that I found that's really minor so far. The two downsides I knew going in were weight and cost. There's a lot of good rifles out there that could probably shoot very accurately for less money, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime purchase. What do I want? And I gotta say, there's been no regret so far. Cost is a factor, weight is a factor in this rifle, and but I gotta say I am extremely happy with this purchase. So now that the Night Force is sitting on a proper platform, I'll go over with you what I got here. This model comes with the flush cup sling mounts. So it comes with rail pieces here. It came with several pieces of rail, some with the QD flush mounts, some without. They can be placed anywhere you want. You can only have as much rail as you need. It's a very thin, very strong tube. This is a 16-inch tube on this model. It allows me to quickly attach and detach a sling. The only downside is they're not anti-rotational. That's about it for downsides besides cost and weight. So the sling I chose to go with was a Blue Force Gear, padded. This is a Vickers Combat application sling. I'm going to try this sling and use this for carry sling and use it as a modified cuff sling when I'm in non-supported shooting positions. So I'm going to try this sling out and see how I like it on a precision rifle. I've used these in the past on ARs and they've worked great, and I went with a padded model due to the extra weight. As the gun sits right now, it's weighing in about 17.5 pounds, and that's pretty much decked out, ready to go. So what we have is a 308 Winchester. I have a 24-inch barrel, 1 in 10 twist. I'm running an Atlas BT10-LW17 bipod. It's an Atlas bipod with a throw lever quick disconnect mount. You know, obviously we went, had the Night Force F1, which is a fantastic scope. I'm looking forward to getting out and shooting this. I haven't shot it yet. It's been all adjusted and set up and been bore sighted. Next weekend I should be at the range sighting this on paper and hopefully running some rounds through a chrono and see what the muzzle velocity on this is. But again, the Night Force F1, this one is a mil-dot reticle, and it is in mil-radian turret, so it is a mil-mil scope. It's a 3.5 to 15 power front focal plane scope. I'm running it in a LaRue mount. I've been extremely happy with the mounts from LaRue. This is their LT111 mount. LT111, I think they call it SBR or OBR. I think, but OBR, yeah. But it's an LT111. This has it's a 30 millimeter mount with throw levers. It has no cant built into it. They have the exact same model in an LT112, which has 20 MOA of cant if you should need that. This particular rifle has 20 MOA built in the rail here, so I have 20 MOA. On the AX308, you can get it with 0 cant, 20 MOA, or 30 MOA. This one has 20 MOA in, which I think is perfect, especially with that combination of that 24-inch barrel. I should be able to push that round out as far as I can with this 308. So we've got the Night Force scope, the LaRue mount, we got the Atlas bipod, and the Blue Force sling, and that's pretty much it's ready to go. Only one thing I did do, you had to, this is adjustable. This has the target adjustable butt on it, so the butt is adjustable up and down, and you can can it a little bit side to side. I set this up primarily what would be optimum for me in the prone position, and will still work in other positions. I did need to lengthen the length of pull slightly. I added one 10 millimeter shim. This does not have the quick adjust butt. It has the standard butt, which is adjusted by shims, which for me is fine, because once it's set for me, it's not going to move. You're not going to see a lot of different people shooting this. This is going to be just me shooting this, so there's not going to be different shooters using the same rifle, so I have no need to be able to quickly change the ergonomics of the rifle. So the shim kit was about $15. It extended the length of pull about 10 millimeters, which is just slightly less than a ½ inch, to get the proper length of pull for my size body. And I got the butt adjusted where I like it, where it fits really nice in my shoulder. The cheek piece adjusted up. I had to adjust that up about 14 millimeters. It's adjustable up and down and side to side. And so it's up 14 millimeters and all the way on its adjustment to the left, which aligns my eye perfectly with the scope. I have a perfect edge-to-edge sight picture. We got the eye relief set up. I'm sitting right about 3 1/4 inches on the eye relief. Just absolutely beautiful sight picture. Could not be happier. There's 2 ways to adjust the length of pull on this. There's coarse adjustments, which are the shim pack. So you can shim it in until it's really, really close to get the proper length of pull for you. And then the trigger is also adjustable for length of pull. This trigger, I gotta say, this trigger is amazing. Now I don't know if you can pick this up right here, but you can see, hopefully right here, there's a little Allen screw on the trigger. You loosen that Allen up, and that trigger is on a rail. And you can slide that trigger forward or rear in the trigger guard, and you can fine-tune the length of pull with the trigger after you do the coarse adjustment with the shims on the buttstock. Then you can if you need to move the trigger up, and it looks like you can probably get 3/8 of an inch either forward or aft. So there's quite a bit of adjustment in the trigger itself. And then the trigger is also adjustable with another Allen screw for the weight of pull. This is a 2-stage trigger. I gotta say, out of the box, this is an outstanding trigger. I've got a lot of time dry firing this and getting in position and getting everything set up. It's a 2-stage trigger. It's probably set about, I had to guess, about 4 pounds. It's about 3 pounds on the first stage and about 1 pound on the second stage. It is extremely clean braking trigger. I am extremely happy with that trigger. There is virtually nothing I need to do or modify on this rifle. It has got just about everything I could possibly do to it. I'm anticipating extremely high accuracy. It's got a very heavy profile barrel here. I don't know if you can see this, how heavy this profile is on this barrel. This barrel is beefy, high quality stainless steel, match chamber, outstanding bolt. It's got the aircraft grade aluminum chassis. Not only is the action bolted, but it's permanently bonded, I think, with some kind of 2-part epoxy. The action and chassis are one now for the life of this rifle. So it should be proved to be extremely accurate. The only other thing I did add to this was on the front here, I added an ARD from Kill Flash. You can see here to the Night Force, I didn't want to run the big sunshade, so I put an ARD on the front, which really won't cut down on the light transmission much, and I won't have to worry about the glare. So we'll leave it here, let you look at this side. Could not be happier with the ergonomics on this. Like I said, extremely happy. The 3-position safety, fire is the first position, and then safe, still allowing you to move the bolt, and then locking the bolt. So that's safe, but you can still operate the bolt. That's unsafe, bolt locked, and all the way forward is the firing position. And it also gives you a cocking indicator here on the back of the bolt, shows you that it is cocked. So it's just extremely smooth, beautiful action. The bolt is able to be torn down. You can field strip the bolt with no tools. So none of this grab it on your bootlace, needing a penny. I push a detent down and I can unscrew it and field strip the bolt with my bare hands. Really, really nice. It's running a new design magazine. Magazines drop free on these. They're beautiful. Magazines are extremely well made. Only downside is cost. Magazines are expensive, but they're heat treated steel, so they should prove to be extremely durable. Magazines are easy to insert. Front first, rock back, positive click. Being the double stack magazine, it has made the magazine much shorter. It holds 10 rounds. Unlike my AI CS chassis on my Remington 700, which uses a 10 round single stack magazine, when I would go to change the magazine, I would usually have to lift the butt up to get the magazine to clear. So I would have to completely break my shooting position and go off target to change the magazine. With this, no matter how low I am in the prone position, I will not have to move to change the magazine. Not only is it a double feed magazine, which cuts the size in half, that also does 2 other things for me. I'm able to load this 1 single round at a time. If I want, I can load 1 round at a time. I can also, if I fired, say, 2 or 3 rounds, I want to top off the magazine, I can just open the bolt and then I can top off the magazine by breech loading 2 or 3 rounds and topping off the magazine. Another thing they did to make it even easier to change that magazine without having to do your position, you can see here they've cut away, let me get a little closer here, they've cut away the mag well, so as you can come in at an angle and then go right in, so you don't have to pull it out. You only have to pull it out right to there and you can come out. So they've done everything they can to make it easier for you to change that magazine without having to disturb your position. So they've done a lot of work on this. The trigger, I gotta say, is so adjustable and so outstanding. This does have the folding buttstock on it. You have a button here. You push that button here, then you can push that button, side fold. Then it has a little like receiver here and a little detent here to lock it in. So that will lock it in, which will give you a much shorter overall package for transport and for storage if it need be to fit in your safe, or a much smaller container to transport it to the range. Other than that, it really doesn't serve a purpose. The lockup on this thing is fantastic. When it's locked in the lock position, there is 0 wobble in that. You think you have a fixed stock, not a folder. Extremely strong, very well made. Which also, the folder is nice because I don't have to disrupt my adjustments on my cheek rest when I got to pull the bolt out, because the bolt will not come out with the cheek rest in place. So having the folder makes it real easy for when I'm cleaning. I can get my bore guide in there. I got the stock out of the way. I'm not smacking my knuckles on anything. It's like the folder is definitely worth it when it comes time to clean and get my bore guide in there and my cleaning rod. And it makes it a lot easier to pull the bolt out. So you guys wanted me to put it on something different, and I wanted to step it up. And so far, I'm extremely happy with this. I've had 0 regrets. I think this combination is going to be outstanding paired with quality ammunition. I don't see how there's anything that I can do wrong, except I've eliminated all excuses. Any problem, it will definitely be shooter error with this setup. But you guys wanted to see it on a nicer rifle, and this is the best thing that I was happy with, that I could find on short notice and get here as quick as I can. And like I said, hopefully next weekend this will be on the range, will be on paper, and we'll be shooting it through the chrono, and I'll be able to share any information I get with you on that. But I look forward to nothing but good times with this rifle from now on. So that's the new home for the Night Force F1. Thanks for watching.